Yes, Savita, you had your questions. Please come up, Savita.
Yes, Savita.
Before asking any question, I would like to say that I was very excited to be a part of this schedule because I have heard about you from Sagato sir, and as you know that I'm also a soft skill trainer. So I thought that this is going to be very much helpful for upskilling myself. That I wanted to say at first, and I was hearing you, and I was enjoying actually everything. I was actually imagining that okay, maybe in future I also have to face all this because I'm here only for 4 years. Ways are yet to go. So I'd like to know that what did you do for your professional development?
First and foremost, Shobita, don't consider yourself to be a trainer, consider yourself to be a learner. I consider myself to be a learner, and I'll remain a learner till the last breath of my life because every day is a learning experience for
Right.
me. And let me tell you something, Shobita. These days, trainers are not considered to be the only resource person. Your students have a plethora of information and knowledge at their disposal. They have Google, they have upgrades, they have Udemy's, they have An Academy. So,
Okay.
I mean, you're not the only resource person. So, there has been a tremendous shift in the role of a trainer over the last few years, and especially over the last couple of years. There has been a significant shift in the role of a trainer. A trainer is not just a teacher, a trainer is not just a resource person, a trainer is a coach, a trainer is a mentor, a trainer is a guide, a trainer is a friend. So you have to don these different hats at different times. And this is something where you are different from Upgrad, you're different from Udemy, you're different from An Academy, because Udemy or An Academy or Upgrad can take that place, can take your place. So in order to stop yourself from getting redundant and being relegated to the background, because that's the danger which all professionals are facing, and they've been facing this over the last couple of years. So you need to constantly, reinvent yourself, renovate yourself, upskill yourself, understand what is there in the market, what the market needs, what the market wants. So first train yourself, raise yourself up for the change, bring about the change on yourself, and then only you can walk the talk. So that's how it goes for me. I mean, year 2020 to 2021, I have undertaken as many as 3 or 4 different courses to upskill myself. I don't consider myself to be a tech savvy person. So 2020 was one such year, when I had to completely go against my grain. I mean, prior to year 2020, I had no idea what Zoom was all about. I had no idea what Microsoft Teams was all about. I was not even, forget about being aware of the features of these digital platforms. I didn't even know what these things used to be for. Year 2020, enrolled for myself. I enrolled for as many as 3 or 4 different courses. 2 courses on digital teaching techniques, and there was one workshop, 2 days workshop on digital tools, how to engage your participants digitally. So different tools are available. So it was a completely new learning experience for me. And I was like that enthusiastic small child who picks up pearls and shells, conch shells from the sea beach. You must have seen one enthusiastic child on the sea beach, looking out for pearls, looking out for conch shells. So I was like that enthusiastic child. I was a child myself. I just had to learn from the beginning. I had to start from the scratch. So It's been
Fine.
like this for most of the trainers like me, take challenge trainers like me who belong to my generation. Shubita, you belong to a different generation, so I presume you already are tech savvy, but we had to take up this challenge upon ourselves and go against our grain, push ourselves. So
Okay,
that's how
Savita,
it has
anything
been like.
else? Yeah, please go ahead, Savita. Yes, Savita.
Yes, yes, I have said that I will definitely try to follow whatever you have said because all these words are very much precious for me. Okay,
Great.
so next, I'd like to know that till now, what do you consider as your biggest success factor?
Big word, Shobita. I really don't know whether I can handle the word success, because success, the word has got different connotations. I mean, if you go by the traditional or the conventional meaning of the word success, it means name, fame, money, and I really don't know whether I measure up to it. But speaking of success, if I tie it down to the mission of my life, as I said, the mission of my life has always been to help other people reinvent themselves and become a better version of themselves. So that has always been the mission of my life, how to make the other person a better version of himself or herself without falling into the trap of false comparisons. So if you consider that, Shobita, let me give you an example. About a couple of years ago, I trained a batch. It was a batch of municipality trainers down south in the Andhra Pradesh. So a couple of years ago, I conducted a training program for them, and it was a 1 month program. I shared my email IDs with some of the trainees. Till date, I keep receiving emails from some of these trainees, from some of I don't consider them students, I tell that they're teachers, and some of them are senior to me in terms of age and experiences. Many of them are quite senior to me. Till date, I keep receiving emails from them on a regular basis, and especially on Teachers' Day, when they thank me for being a part of their lives, for coming into their life. They thank me for all the wisdom that I shared with them. So that I consider to be the biggest success of my life. When the people I mean, the people you interact with, the people you're there for, they come back to you and tell you, that's a value chain which you create. So they come back to you and tell you that I mean, you have made, yes, you indeed have made a difference to our lives. So that I consider to be the biggest success. I mean, again, I say success is a too heavy word for me, but then that's how I define success.
Yes,
Yes.
I can feel this, and I think Shogoto is also agree with this. That whenever we see the transformation of others' life for our presence, so it's really a great feelings. We cannot compare it with
Absolutely,
anything.
Shobita. Absolutely. And all your hard work has paid. I mean, Shobita, you have interacted with, I think, engineer. What kind of audience you interact with? I presume you interact with the college going, yes, undergraduates. You mostly cater
Privilege.
to the, yes, underprivileged undergraduates. So let's say 5 years, 10 years down the line, if they remember you, they remember you for what they have got from you, from what they have received from you, and when they come back to you and tell you that, ma'am, this is what we got from you, you have changed our lives, you have made a difference, you have brought about tremendous transformation, because of you we are where we are today. I mean, how do you feel deep down? Nothing can stand in comparison to that. I mean, nothing can
Thank
beat
you.
that, nothing can stand in comparison to that.
Yes, Savita, I think you also had something or case study, something that happened with you with the student, right? You wanted to share.
Yes.
If you can, you please go
Uh,
through that.
is I would like to share my experience, whatever I faced while training. So sometimes it happens that many students say that whenever they feel any kind of pressure, they go for those kind of job where they feel less pressure. They understand that they're having less growth in their career in that sector. Their salary is also less, but still they feel that okay, if I'm not having any pressure, I'm feeling happy. My boss is not scolding me. So this is the perfect place of my life. But in this way, if they don't face the challenges, so they can't have the career growth. At the moment of challenge, definitely we feel bad. But once you overcome this, That feeling is amazing. So, Barnali, what would be your suggestion to those youth who feel that a challenge should not be taken? Rather, mental peace is everything.
You have to strike that balance between, peace and the what you call the challenge, taking up challenge. Now, who said that taking up challenge is going to jolt the peace in your life? Let me tell you something. We are living in a queer world today. It's not difficult to climb up the ladders. No, you can climb up the ladders. You can even reach the peak. Sustaining there is the biggest challenge. There are forces which are constantly, making the ladder wobbly. There are forces which are jolting the ladder. And in order to stay there right at the top, you have to maintain that balance so that you don't fall off the ladder. In order not to fall off the ladder, you have to constantly keep changing. You have to constantly embrace changes. In this ever changing world, you just can't afford to sit comfortably in your zone, in your comfort zone. Sit back in your comfort zone and say that, okay, I have now found my comfort zone and let me stick here for the rest of your life, because you know that there are external forces which are going to give you the shock of your life, which are going to shake you from there and throw you off balance. Year 2020, I learned the hardest lesson of my life. I couldn't afford to tell anymore that I'm a tech challenged person. I will not be able to integrate technology with my training. I'm the only resource person. I don't need technology for presentation. I'm the best presenter in the world. The students only need me. They don't need the technology. I can do without that. I can't say that anymore. So there are forces which are constantly working around us to jolt us from that comfort zone. You can't afford to say that. Like it or not, you have to embrace change. You have to be part of that change process. So, this is the bitter, the hardest truth of life, and the sooner you learn it, the better. And this is what you have to constantly keep telling your students, but constantly keep hammering them. Give them examples, give them illustrations, give them examples, give them real life stories so that they understand. Sooner or later, they will. Either they learn from you or they learn the hard way. They learn it the hard way. But sooner or later, they have to accept it. They have to acknowledge and accept the change that comes their way.
Banali, I have another question for you. It's like I would like to ask you a different here. What is your key quotation, a key quote of
Uh,
yours?
I don't really, memorize quotes of famous people.
But something that you
Well,
follow, which happens, no?
something that I follow. Yes, of course, there is one thing that I follow, and that is everybody wants to bring about change to the world, but very few people endeavor to bring about change to themselves. What I have always believed is in walking the talk. If I expect my trainees to be on time, I have to set the example for them. So I can't be logging it at 9:15 and ask my students to log in at 9 o'clock sharp. If I want my trainees to log in at 9 o'clock sharp, I have to log in at 8:55 and set a trend for them and set an example for them. So in my 16 years of training career, I have always endeavored to walk the talk. I have enrolled for the CBT program. You know that quite well, Shogoto. You have done the program
Yes,
yourself,
right.
the cognitive behavioral therapy. You know why
Yes.
I took up that program? I don't consider it quite relevant to the domain of to my domain of training, to the domain to which I belong. But I did it for my growth, for my personal growth. I did it for my personal growth and development, so that I can understand people better. I can understand myself better. First thing is you have to understand yourself better in order to be able to understand people and the world around you better. So that's something which I've always believed in.
It means you believe in self introspection, right?
Absolutely. I believe in self introspection. Who else is going to do that for you? Who else is going to hold a mirror in front of you and tell you that this is how you look? You have to do it yourself. You do it every day in the morning when you get up from bed. You look into the mirror. So that's what you have to keep doing yourself. You can't expect anybody else to hold up the mirror in front of you. No.
Okay, Barnali, one more last question I would like to have is that because it will be youth and even professionals who will be going through, even at their workplace, maybe many of them are working also with. So, what are the, what should I say, the core soft skills that they should instill in themselves? What do you,
Resilience. Number one is resilience. And
okay,
it is going to assume greater significance in the coming years because endurance and resilience is going to help you sustain, and sustenance is a big word these days. As I said, it's not difficult to climb up the ladders and reach the top rungs, but it's difficult to sustain there. If you want to sustain there, you have to have these two qualities. Without these, you're nowhere. Endurance, perseverance, and resilience.
okay, fine. Thank you, Barnali. It was a really nice treat, rather, to be with you, and really, I have also learned a lot of things
Pleasure
from
is
your end.
all mine, Shogoto. Thank you so much, Shogoto, and thank you so much, Shobita.